I tell you, it's one of those situations that I wish I had the answer to the fourth quarter. The last 3 weeks, the fourth quarter has really gotten to us, and I don't know what it is, whether it's something in the water, what have you, but we got to do a better job in the fourth quarter. And after watching the tape on yesterday, you realize that in the course of a football game, there's about 6 or 7 plays that have made the difference in the games that we have lost. But that's what it's all about, and that's why we always say you got to play every play to the fullest. And when you make one mistake, it comes back to haunt you, and that's what happened. You think we played bad during the game, but once you watch the tape, it's one play here, one play there, and it costs you. And the fourth quarter has really been that time when those mistakes sneak up on us, whether or not fatigue set in or what have you, instincts are not what they should be. Whatever it is, last week was a great week of practice. I thought the guys practiced hard and was ready to roll. And the first half was a pretty good first half. It was 3-3, but defense played lights out. And the second half, offensively, we made some mistakes. We killed some drives by our own doing. And defensively, we let them do some things to us that they wasn't able to do in the second half. So you got to give them credit for making adjustments to coming out to what we was doing. But offense, I thought we moved the football. And like I said, when we had an opportunity to keep the drive going, it didn't happen. We had some crazy penalties that sneaked up on us when on the kickoff, tackling the guy out of bounds, on the punt return. We had a great return, and the guy who returned the ball spiked the ball, and that's a 15-yard penalty. Instead of starting at the 40, we end up at the 25. So those kind of things that have sneaked up on us and cost us a little harm during the season.
Coach, you went with Frank this week. What did you see out of him, and how do you plan going forward? Is it going to be a week-to-week basis, or is he?
Well, right now we're gonna go with Frank. Frank made a couple good throws, but just like previous, Frank missed some things that most freshmen probably would miss. But overall, I don't think we can grade him an A or B, but he didn't do anything to really kill us except for a couple times on the interception. The ball just got away from him because Mario was wide open. He went the right place. The ball just floated on him. There were some times that he could have made some better decisions, but you got to take your hat off to a guy that's that young and getting some experience.
Does awfully come at a good time, or is it a bad time now that they have to kind of simmer on and let this thing kind of stew for a while?
This open day, we got a chance to win this week, and we needed this awfully bad. I think it's time to regroup and see what has happened. I think the players get a chance to watch more tape and realize, what I can do to make it a better football team. So this open date is at a great time for us at this particular time. It's hard to imagine sitting here 1-4. If you had asked me before the season, we've been 1-4. I would say no. I mean, I think, like, the school down the road, Louisiana Tech, I feel for them, and I'm sure they feel for us because we're both in the same boat.
Added a few gray hairs, I take it?
I think I got a couple strings coming up top. It was wisdom around the beard, but now I think the worration coming up top. But you know what? Been around for a while, and when you know what you're working with, it's just a matter of making sure you keep working and adding to what we already have. And I'm not worried about where we're going to be maybe for the rest of the year and the years to come.
What led to the decision of putting Frank in? Was it DJ just not producing in the game, in practice, or was Frank just kind of stepping up?
DJ had one day of practice. DJ would not probably have been able to play anyway. He had a badly bruised turf toe he did in the first quarter of the A&M game, and his toe had swollen up real bad. And matter of fact, we bought some insoles just Thursday to try to let him practice Thursday that he could put in his shoes. So he wouldn't play regardless of what happened.
What is your schedule like for this week? Are you going to give him a couple days off, or are you just going to kind of?
No, we're gonna work it lightly. We're gonna give him a day off. I think tomorrow we're gonna give him Tuesday off and come back lightly on Wednesday and Thursday, light about an hour and a half, and on Thursday we probably just have him do some on Friday do some conditioning, and we'll come back and have a special team practice on Saturday, and give them Sunday off and back to work.
You switched quarterbacks, but you had the same results. Do you think you can any more adjustments you guys can make for the next game?
Quarterbacks is not the only one because of these results, so I'm not gonna say that. If I said that, I'd be saying it's the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
It's a team effort, and switching quarterback has nothing to do, and it wasn't a switch that I did to switch. It was a switch that had to be done because DJ wouldn't have been able to play anyway.
Right.
It's got to give you, you've been in these ball games, so that gives you a little bit of confidence. Heading into the fourth quarter, you've been tied up both weeks.
Yeah, like I say, if we've been blown out every game we played and didn't have a chance, I'd probably be a little more frustrated. But fourth quarter has been a bummer for us, and once you watch the tape and you realize that it's not anything major. It's major when you lose, but at the end of the day, it's small, minute things that we worked on that could be corrected, and hopefully the players see it, and when we get to the fourth quarter from now on, they'll be able to finish. The name of the game is being able to finish, and we have not been able to finish.
Where does that start? In practice or just experience and getting frustrated with just falling in the fourth quarter every time?
Well, I could sit here and say it's practice, but wouldn't be fair to the coaches and everybody else. I think it comes down to players making plays, instincts. One of the most instinctive players I've seen all year by a player on our football team was Saturday night when we ran a halfback option pass. Most guys who throw that pass would just throw it up in the air. We had a freshman who able to cover two, and he threw a perfect pass in between the seams of the corner and the safety. To me, that's instincts, and we just got to play with a little more instincts, and we hadn't done that.
So you're gonna throw that in a little bit more?
Well, you can't throw that every game. They got the tape, but we threw it as an element of surprise. We hadn't did anything like that, but I take my hat off to Juwan for being able to throw. I'm standing on the sideline as an ex-quarterback, and I don't know how many quarterbacks would have thrown it like that.
You found an emergency quarterback then in case that happened to Frank?
Well, to be honest with you, the kid did play quarterback in high school. That's what he was. But he's a runner, and we made him a running back.
That's probably a highlight of
Yeah.
the year for him.
What do you have to say about the fans' negative response during the 4-game losing streak?
What did they say?
That was like, this isn't like the G-Man. This is the 4-game losing streak. I've never seen it before, and like a couple of my peers, they haven't even seen a loss in this at Robinson Stadium. And then,
Wow, you young, you know.
yeah, I am.
Okay. I don't get into they say,
Right,
because they say the bandwagon riders.
right.
Yeah, but the real G folks, G-men, tag them, they don't say it. They ride it.
Right.
So I'm going with the riders. All the G, don't worry me. And that's what I try to tell the players. Don't worry about what they say, because most of the they sayers can't do what you're doing. And that's why they say it.
Talk about Dorrance Roberts. He had another great run, and the offensive line gave him great protection.
I tell you, man, back-to-back 183 yards, 2 games in a row. I think we all got to either apologize to him for not starting the murder or take our hats off to him, And one thing he's doing, he's having fun. There's 2 guys on offense right now that's having a lot of fun. But at the expense of losing, I think the fun is diminished. And that's Dorrance Roberts and Mario Lewis. Those are 2 guys that have really stood up. Mario is the one guy, and that's all we've been asking is for somebody to stand up. And Mario has been that stand-up guy we've been looking for. It's so unfortunate for us as coaches that we got here Mario as a senior, that we won't have him for another year, because this is the first year he's really been in a passing offense type of situation for him to bloom like that. The kid that didn't play football in high school, was a basketball player, and only been on the football field for 3 or 4 years. I think it speaks volume for him.
It's like Jimmy Graham
Basketball player.
turned.
Coach, you look at this situation like you guys kind of backed yourself into a corner, painted yourself in a little bit of corner, and you're now anxious to see how the team responds and comes out of this?
I certainly think, you know, if you look at it from that standpoint, for me, the most important thing now is to play well and don't worry about the corner. Hopefully this week, mentally, we'll get everybody mentally prepared for the stretch run now. And, you know, I would love to see us bounce back, and I think at this particular stage, no matter who we play, a W would do this team some good.
What are some of the things you want to tell your guys in practice to get them mentally ready for the next game?
Well, ain't a whole lot to change. You know, we do it every day about getting mentally prepared. That's why we have meetings, and that's why we show them the tape, is to be mentally prepared for what's ahead. I think we got, as coaches, got to keep doing what we do, and I think we do a good job. But as players, they got to go out and make plays. And that's, and like Coach Rob used to always say, credit goes to the man in the arena.
How much do you use Coach Rob's sayings and things you pull from when you were a player? Do you bring that up a lot when you're coaching?
Man, it's two men in this world that I use sayings all the time. One is my dad, and the other one is Coach Rob. Because you know, a lot of things they've said has come to pass. You know, when you look at it realistically, just like my man say that you know that his peers hadn't seen it. You know, I want to let them know I didn't see it either. So it's frustrating to me too. So, but at the same time, I'm gonna go forward. And you know, I've been in bigger situations, and I came here in '98, and we had to build this thing from the ground up. I think what happened too, you know, after winning and going 9-2, you know, when I left here back in '03, Coach Spears won. When Coach, because we left him some players, you know, when Coach Spears left, Coach Broadway won, and we all got to understand Frank Warren and Cornelius was Coach Spears' guys. That's the last of Coach Spears' guys, and what I have is you know what was left here, and we got to work with it, and we certainly got a foundation to say we had the type of ball players that we had when I was here the first time, when Coach Spears was here. You know, I'm not going to sit up and say that, but we got some guys that got some talent.
With that being said, I mean, you're coaching right now, but you're also having to recruit. How's that going on the side?
You know, we got to get the type of player that we used to. You know, I mean, we brought in a whole different system offensively, and we got to get the players that we used to have when I was here the first time. We're going to go back to the same thing. And, you know, that's why I'm not frustrated or caught up in what they say or whatever, because when you know as a coach what you're working with, that's what you deal with. And that's what you got to do. You got to play the hand that was dealt. And I'm playing to the best of my ability, and it's going to get better.
Last week on the conference call, Heisman said that he thought it was a chance for a 2 or 3 loss team to take the West this year. But where do you stand as far as that goes? And I mean, is that looking too far ahead for you guys?
No, it's not. But, you know, we got to try to get a win, number one. But Heis was right when you look at it realistically in the way everybody's playing in this league. You know, Southern University is playing decent football, and Fairview got to go down there this weekend. You know, the team that seemed like the most probably won't end up with 3 losses is probably Alabama State, the way they're playing, and maybe Jackson, who's not eligible. So I think Heisman, especially on the west side, that's a possibility that you can really get into it with a 6-3 record, or 5-4. You never know.
When you look at the tape, what are some of the things that stands out the most, like the problems that you guys are having, offensively and defensively?
The tape is it's about, like I said earlier, it's about 6 or 7 plays that players didn't execute when they had an opportunity that caused us to be where we are.
Are these the same problems you have in every game, or is it new problems every game?
You know, football is like golf. You know, I don't think anybody ever hit the same shot from the same place in golf. And in football, it's never going to be the same play most of the time. It's always going to be something different because you're playing different teams and you got different schemes and different plays on every play.
A turf toe can nag throughout the whole season. So is there any kind of timetable, or you guys just don't really know?
No timetable. You know, he's still walking with a little limp. So I don't know. You know, I think this week is going to help all the walking woundeds a little bit to get well. 2 weeks, so you're talking about probably 3 weeks, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, he'd be able to move around. And, because you don't want to go into a game with one quarterback. I don't care who it is. And so we'll see how it goes in the next week or so and where he is at this time.
Have you ever had turf toe?
Never have played so.
Oh, who was the player at Tagline?
Livest.
Yeah, and he got up and he was like, I've had broken bones, but turf toe
Turf
hurts
toe,
so
I
bad.
tell
Don't
you,
think I'm a wuss.
Big toe and the thumb is two of the toughest things to overcome.
Coach, I know you have no inside information on what's going on at LSU, but you've been in these quarterback situations before. You know how it can kind of divide a locker room. How do you handle a situation in those cases when you have a established starter coming back and you try to insert him in a different spot?
Well, I think, I've been in the situation. I've been in Washington. That happened between me and Jay Schrader. But I think at the end of the day, as a player, that we all got to respect the coach's decision. And, people going to say it's a quarterback controversy. And you say, who makes the controversy? There ain't no quarterback controversy. Jay Schrader and I never spoken one word about the quarterback position. The coach makes the decision. If Les Miles say I'm going with Jordan Jefferson, that's his choice. That ain't a controversy. And the same thing here. If I say today that DJ's starting, DJ's starting. That ain't DJ and Frank fighting. That's Coach Williams making the decision. So I think people get caught up in that because the media make it a controversy. But it's not. It's a coach's decision. Put it on the coach.